Ally from beneath the earth, Ultraman Ginga S.
Hello and welcome once again to Chikyu Seijin ProtoMet, or Earth Alien ProtoMet. I'm ProtoMet, and in today's episode I'm going to be talking about Ultraman Ginga S. Now, fair warning, this video is going to have some minor spoilers for the previous season, Ultraman Ginga, given that this is a sequel. So, if you haven't seen that series, go watch it, or if you live in the future in which I've actually covered the previous season, go watch that video first. And with that out of the way, let's get into the plot.
Years after the events of the previous season, Raido Hikaru, the hero of the previous season, returns to Japan while investigating a series of monster attacks that have resulted in the theft of large crystals called Victorium. Hikaru then finds himself joining up with a new defense group known as UPG, who are also investigating the attacks and thefts, as well as encountering Sho, a member of a mysterious civilization known as the Victorians, who are themselves concerned about the crystal thefts due to the fact that the crystals are a life-sustaining power source for their people. Sho also has the ability to transform into a new Ultraman Victory. And Sho is initially quite cold and uncaring of the surface people, because he feels that they are responsible for the slow decline of his own people.
And eventually Sho does grow closer to the other characters, less cold, and more accepting of them and their help. And honestly, that's kind of the best part of this season. This season really feels like it's Ultraman Victory and Sho's show. I honestly feel that this season probably could have been better called Ultraman Victory, which is kind of a shame since it attaches itself to the previous season, which, if you've seen my other review in the future, you would know that I don't much care for that season, for reasons that I won't go into here. I will, however, say that Ginga S is definitely the better of the two shows, but not by a whole lot.
Ultraman Ginga S does have a nice cast of characters, and it doesn't rely too heavily on the characters from the previous season, with only 2 of them returning for the entire season, and the others only recurring as guest characters. I don't really feel that the show developed the characters other than Sho and Hikaru all that well, which is a shame because there's so much there just with the Victorians that could be delved into that's just kind of glossed over for the most part. The villains could have different motivations, and while they are some of the better characters on the show proper, there's really a small cast of them, and one of which is just a self-important blowhard who thinks he's the best thing since sliced bread, or whatever the galactic equivalent of it is. I honestly feel that the show didn't really need to be connected to Ultraman Ginga, and the role of the Mentor Ultra could have been given to another character like, say, Taro, or Cosmos, Nexus. Nexus probably more specifically, since Sho's whole problem is he's not really able to connect to other characters. That having been said, this season does have one of my favorite episodes of Ultra as a whole, which is kind of a shame because it's a really good episode that focuses on almost none of the characters that comprise the main cast. It's a pretty standalone story that really doesn't need to be too connected to this season, and probably could have even been part of the previous season and made that better. That having been said, Ginga S is fairly forgettable.
While Ultraman Ginga S isn't a terrible show, I'd be a bit hard-pressed to really rewatch it. I will say, once again, that it is a much better show than Ultraman Ginga, but that really wasn't all that hard. One of the big problems I feel is that they really only connected it to Ginga in order to explain the spark dolls that appear without rewriting the entire story, which the next season actually does to much better effect. Well, whatever. This has been me, ProtoMet, for Earth Alien ProtoMet. See ya!